Hey, everybody. So glad you're here. Monday, 24th of August. 4 years ago today, my wife and I got married at the North Shore of Oahu. And so, a very special day for us, and also a very special day for a lot of you all. Is what we're going to be talking about now is the content that will cross the T's and dot the I's for the grid training. Because going forward, the grid training is not going to be offered by anybody until Jim Pere. And then, guys, I stepped out of line. I did. I've been doing a bunch of grid training because holy cow, is it incredible, So, but he asked me to hold off. He wants to get me perfectly trained in it so that I can train it better. So going forward, it's going to be Jim Pere doing it, and Jim Pere doing it alone until such time that we have qualified ourselves to be effectively successful in offering it. So I don't think that that's going to take much time, but out of respect to Jim, his content, it's critically important that we don't miss a step with it. Right? It's that important that we don't miss a step, because we already have people that are trying to shortcut it. Right? They're saying, hey, can we do it this way? Can we do it that way? The answer is no. No, 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 and no. Okay? We are not going to bastardize this training. We're not going to take 35 years of somebody's life work product and reduce it down to because we think. Okay, we're going to follow it to the T, and that's the message to my team is I'm going to insist that we follow it to the letter because it works, and it's proven to do that, right? Proven techniques. So I need to have that disclaimer out front here today that Rise to Enterprise, 2.5 weeks away. There is going to be all kinds of grid tools available for us once we get there and then after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about the nuances of it, though, because one of the first things we're taught is you put the best with the best. And the reason that that's important to talk about is that, and here's the analogy, when one of our kids becomes of age to drive and they go and they get their permit, we've got the Maserati in the garage and we've got the old Ford, Ford Focus sitting in the driveway. What keys are you going to give them? You're going to give them keys, right? We know that, especially if it's your daughter, Dad, right? We're definitely giving them keys. But which keys are we going to give them? We're not giving them the keys to the Maserati on their first time out, right? So the same applies here from an analogy perspective, in that we want to attach the best with the best, right? Because the prospects, the lists of people that we want are the best prospects of those individuals. I'm going to be getting into that in a moment. So to ask, and it makes so much sense now, guys, and that's why I apologize, like I did on Saturday, that I just didn't know more. I wish I did, of course, right? I could have taught us all more, including myself. But now that we have it in front of us, what do we do? Do we shun it because it wasn't our idea? How ridiculously lame is that, right? What we do is we go through and use rational decision-making processes to see whether or not this is what will work, right? We use logic. And once we've done that and we've evaluated it, then we share it. And that's exactly where I'm at. All right, so putting the best with the best, you contacting your team's prospects or your new IREPS prospects is going to be the best of your business, right? Because you would have been in the longest of your business, right? If you're the top of your business, you've been in longer than anybody underneath you. So if you're the best of your organization, right, which is kind of a tall order, right? It causes us to be better, doesn't it? Right? A lot of the training that we've always talked about would we follow us, right? Would you follow you? All that comes back into play now, doesn't it? Right? So the best with the best scenario is exactly that. We're going to team up the best of our organization, being us, with the best prospects that somebody has to offer. And why is it that they might give us a list? Right? Because I'm hearing a lot of people that are challenging this, saying they're not going to give me a list. Why would they want to give me a list? Well, maybe because we can help them get free product, right? The 3 for free, 4 for more, 3 plus 1. Or how about so we could jumpstart their business? How about offering the apprenticeship program, which we're going to talk about a little bit more in just a moment, which qualifies them for our time. Remember, Jim was talking about that, was that we have to qualify them. A little pushback is also a very important part of the invitation opportunity. And did they give us a good list? Right? What we should be able to do is, once we have sponsored somebody and start a new grid, right? What we want to do is we want to make sure that that person that we've sponsored before we help them understands the value of them giving us a good list. Who's their favorite people? Who is it that they love the most? Right? Who could benefit from getting a spot on our marketing team? Right? Who's been beaten up by the recession that could use that extra income? These are great stimulating questions that get our new business partner, our new IREP, an understanding of what we're looking for so that they can provide us, right? Because we got to do this by design. We need to get them to understand exactly what it is that we're looking for, because the less responsibility we put on them, right? Because they're brand new, right? We're not giving them the keys to the Maserati. We're going to tell them how to drive that Ford Focus so they can eventually get to the Maserati, right? So what I did was I came up with 4 or 5 ways to speak to somebody else's prospects, because a lot of people are saying, should I call them first and preface your call with them by me calling them? No, the answer is no. This is not that big of a deal, right? We're not calling them and asking them to come to your wedding, right? We're not calling them and asking them to be your best man or to be the godparent of your child. We're calling them to tell them about something that we're doing, right? So let's go through a couple of these. And guys, these are only for you to cause you to think. Do what you want. Do what's best. But I think that you're going to find that there's going to be 3 or 4 or 5 different points within these that's going to be it's going to ring true. Okay. So hi, Jane. My name is Mike Lattuca, and I'm a friend of Amy Bidewolf's. She asked me to call you, and I promised her I would. Great information by Elaine Weiss, right? Enterprise, when she said to add that in there, right? By telling them that I promised I would is causing the prospect to understand that I made a commitment to Amy. Is this a good time for a very brief call? Instead of saying, for me now, guys, and do what you want, but for me, instead of saying, is this a good time? Because to me, that causes somebody to think that it could be a long call. So what I want to do for me is say, is this a good time for a very brief call, so they have a great understanding that we're going to be on and off very quickly. Amy and I have partnered up, Jane, and not knowing if you're interested or if you even qualify, right? Jim likes to use that as a little bit of pushback. Can I ask you to review a single web page? Because when we send, and again, this is a nuance that I came up with only because when we send somebody a web link, that can almost be endless, right? So what I'm trying to do is get in their mind that I just want them to spend as little time as possible, committing as little time as possible so they can see how easy that this is. Can I ask you to review a single web page with pictures and watch a 2-minute video for Amy? Not for me, right? Because they don't know me. Can you do this for Amy? When might you be able to dedicate 5 minutes to accomplish this? As Jane, that's all it's going to take is 5 minutes. And may I call you back as soon as you're done to get your thoughts? And you want to try and get this done within an hour and get them back on the phone within that hour. Or how about this one? Hi, Mike. My name is Amy Bidewolf, and Robert Kiyosaki is a mutual friend. How great would that be, right? Is a mutual friend who asked me to reach out to you. Is this a good time for a brief call? Robert and I are strong business partners, and he thought you'd be someone qualified to join our team. I like that, right? Amy thought, right, that you'd be somebody that would be qualified to join our team. Can I direct you to a single web page where you can review some images and watch a less than 3-minute video? I can call you back as soon as you think you can dedicate the 5 minutes necessary. Can I call you in 20 minutes? Great. I'll let Robert know I've reached out to you, right? This way we're letting them know that the person that is the mutual friend is going to know that they accepted this call. They were willing to watch the page, right? Again, all we're doing is we're really strengthening up using that relationship of that new business partner, that new IREP in our team. Or how about this? Hi, Kathy. My name is Mike Lattuca, and Amy Bidewolf asked me to call you, and I promised I would. Is this a good time for a brief call? Amy indicated as a healthcare provider, you'd love knowing what we have stumbled on. Can you dedicate 5 minutes today to review a single web page with images and a brief video? Amy values your opinion tremendously and is hopeful you can make time for this, as she wants us to have your feedback as soon as humanly possible. Great. Amy and I will call you in 30 minutes after you've had a chance to review. Okay. Well, again, guys, all I'm doing is trying to get the juices flowing so we can have out of the box thoughts on who it is that we're talking to and how we're going to talk to them. And yes, basically we're saying the exact same thing every time. But if we tweak it just a hair, right, with brief call, single web page, I'll let Amy know, right? Those types of things I think are going to enhance the results. Let's try another one. Hi, Mike. Amy Bidove asked me to call you. I promised her I would. See how that's always the same? My name is Mike Lattuca. Is this a good time for a very brief call? Amy said you were someone that should be taken seriously concerning business, and she thinks the world of you, which is why she asked me to reach out to you personally. Right? We know compliments are important, right? We have partnered with a company that has combined wealth building with anti-aging and are compelled to share it. Not knowing if you're interested, can you dedicate 5 minutes today to review a single webpage with images and with a less than 3-minute video, and we can discuss further later today? When might you carve out that time, and can I call you immediately following to discuss? I appreciate your time, Mike. I promise to keep it brief. You'll either get it as we did or not when viewing the images and watching the video, and that will expedite the conversation dramatically. Okay, and that's a business-minded person who we don't have to qualify because it's already been qualified to us that they're a business-minded person. Hi, Amy. My name is Mike Lattuca, and Lauren Robin asked me to reach out to you, and I promised I would. Is this a good time for a brief call? Lauren and I have partnered on a project that she believes you'll want to know about. Can you dedicate 5 minutes today to review a single web page with images and a short video? Can I follow up with you in an hour to discuss briefly if there might be an interest to join Lauren and I? Okay, guys, but what we got to do is I'm finding that as I'm putting this on paper and I'm typing it out, the easier it's becoming. So I'm going to encourage you all to do exactly the same thing. Right? Write it down. Who are you going to be talking to? Are you going to be talking to a childhood friend who you can talk very plainly to? Or it could be your new IREP's friend who you know, right? Or are you going to be talking to somebody that is a family member of your new IREP? Is it somebody that's in healthcare? Is it somebody that might own a restaurant, in which case you never want to call them at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Or at 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, right? All these things are going to be very important little idiosyncrasies of how to do this and how to maximize the opportunity. Okay, so now here's the follow-up. And what I'll do, guys, is I'll share this as a link. Let me see if I can do that now. Hold on a second. I believe that there's a way Okay, I just put a link out there that you guys can download the slides, okay? But now here's the fortune. The fortune's in the follow-up, okay? And we can't try and do this in one call. We can't try and change any of this. We have got to follow this to the letter. Okay, the follow-up call is going to tell you whether or not they qualify for your time. It's why it's so important, because if they don't take your call and it goes to voicemail, right, and you leave a brief message to call you back, we had a scheduled confirmed call, give me a call back, are you going to continue to call those people? No. We're not stalking anybody, right? Same rule applies. And if they're not going to respond to us, why would we feel that they're going to be responsive to people in our teams later, on their team, right? So we don't want to chase people down. We don't want to hound them, but the follow-up is critical. So here we go. I think you'll agree. If the product does what these pictures represent, a lot of people will want it, Bill. The company has set aside a large amount of cash for those of us that build a consumer base, Bill, and a fortune for those like Rachel and I who want to build a marketing team. I'm not sure if you're interested, Bill, or if you even qualify. But Rachel and I are looking for a few that want to partner up and run hard with this. The cost to get a spot on our team is only $40. This gives you the ability to decide what products you want monthly at wholesale to achieve your desired results and also be able to earn an income. Those who qualify are immediately entered into our apprenticeship program, Bill, where you give us a list of 10 people. We call them and sign up 3 to 5 immediately in your team, getting your business off to a running start promptly. And then apprentices that provide large lists are then invited to leadership webinars, team conference calls to accelerate their knowledge base. Okay, so that last bit, guys, I'm going to run that by Jim tonight. We've got a call. I'm going to ask him what he thinks about that. So, but these are, again, thoughts to get us out of the gate. These are thoughts to help us take a prospect of an IREP and turn them into an IREP of our IREP. But we've got to follow up. We've got to follow up intelligently by speaking the language of what it is that we want from them. Do they simply want to enjoy the products? Then you could do that. They can do that. Okay, because what's going to happen is, and a lot of people have asked me, well, how do you get a list out of people? Well, you ask them for the list. If some of the people are reluctant to giving you a list, what are you going to do? Are you going to hang out? No. What you're going to do is you're going to call somebody else on that list until you find somebody that's willing to partner with us and give us the list. And then off you go with that person. And then you're going to make those calls for that person, helping them get 3 for free, 4 for more, 3 plus 1, right? And we know that the grid is based on 3 by 3, right? But Jim was talking to me about adding 1, 3 plus 1, because of my 4 for more program, which takes that 3, which is not IREP Elite, right? And causes it to become IREP Elite. Do you understand how much money difference is by adding that 1? It's 300% more money than leaving the 3 alone by sponsoring just the 3. By going the 4th and getting the 700 in group volume for that person above, now gets them that $100 over 2 months and also gets a matching $100 above. So that's $256 extra over what would have been 84, 300% increase by adding the 1 more person, right? So all the numbers that Jim showed us are insane. But what happens to when we add the 1 more? It jumps 300% over that first 60 days. Okay, guys, so what I want you to do is understand that we're going to do this wrong at first, okay? Like anything brand new. We're going to have some trials with it. We're going to stumble on the phone, but the benefit of this is that we all understand that the fear of picking up the phone is diminished dramatically for a couple of reasons. The first one is it's not your list. It's not the people that have judged you the harshest over the course of your entire life. It's somebody else's list, right? So the impact of their no or of their potentially judging you is not harmful. You don't know them. And while we care tremendously about doing this right and getting that new IREP's list into the system, what will happen is a direct result that I've already done these. The confidence level is so much stronger and higher when we're calling their list because we don't have any true downside. Okay, and understand the psychological value of that. It's big. And the other big piece is we will never run out of prospects again to drive your business deep if you follow this system and you do it right. What Jim has brought us is a game changer to the 100th power. It's absolutely a game changer. It makes all the sense in the world. And being somebody that's 100% about the numbers, it makes all the sense in the world by driving this deep, right, and not backing up, by keep going deep, one person, and keep going. All the volume that's going to be generated underneath all of those people that's going to be coming up is going to cause the people above to see that if they did just a little bit, they could be an E3 to get the car. If they did a little bit more, they could be an E4 to get the dream pool bonus. If they were an E5, they could get to enterprise. Because that's the goal of this, is that as we go down in depth, right, we're driving volume up. And then those up here start to expand their businesses. And as Jim said, he goes to the person directly above the last person. You see what's going on in your business? See how much volume you have? Goes to the person above them. You see what you got going on? See how much business you have going on? And it keeps going all the way up. And it sparks them to engage. Not everybody. We know it's not everybody. But what if it's 3 or 4 people that recognize the value of having enterprise volume and now explode sideways? What does that do for your overall volume, your level bonuses, your check match, your fast start, and everything else? It's absolutely incredible how it's a reverse engineering. That's all it is. I used to call it building insurance policies, because that's what I thought it was, and it really is still doing that, but it's doing it in a different way with a different result in mind. Instead of just building insurance policies, what it's doing is it's leveraging all of that one-person contact that we've done going all the way down and causing that volume that's coming up to now to mushroom sideways. And guys, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I can't wait for Jim to do a fully thorough explanation of the grid training in Las Vegas. I hope you're all going to be there. He's got the August promotion is sponsor 3 people in your front line this month and get one of them to go to Rise to Enterprise, and your name's going in a hat for a $1,000 drawing. All right, so it's never too late to sponsor somebody. It's certainly never too late to invite people to get to Rise to Enterprise. The more people you have there, the stronger the excitement level for you and your team. I think that makes sense. When Amy and I and Lauren were at the very first, and Barbara, we were at the very first Rise to Enterprise. It was like 75 people in the room. And I had 4 people on my team there. And my business grew 2,240% the next year. What if I would have had 8, 10? Because it's exponential growth, guys. It's not incremental, it's exponential. So the more we do today, the more people we excite and engage and get to Rise to Enterprise in Vegas, the happier you'll be, because why wait another year? We've got the opportunity to get 1 person there, 2 people there, and help them maybe get 1 person there. Okay, guys? Thank you so much. I've recorded this, and it'll be on my YouTube channel later tonight, which is youtube.com/Jasuru, the number 1. Or you can search it with Mike Lattuca. Thanks, everybody. I'm glad you're here. And, Robert Kiyosaki, everything else that's going to happen there, Jim Perret, and other enterprise leaders that will be training, speaking, and teaching, and life-changing event coming up, Jasuru 2.0. It's here. And, guys, we are every day closer to that momentum that we've been talking about for years. Can you feel it now that we're even closer? I know we got people that are jumping off already. I'm so sorry that you've got better things to do, more busier things to do right now. Right? But can you not feel that the 2.0 aspect of this is starting to take off already? Because it is. Thanks, guys.